What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's discuss TNA Impact from April the 25th, 2024. An okay show. This was the fallout from Rebellion. So basically TNA, for the last 3.5 months, they've just been spinning their wheels. And to me, that's fine, but they really need to start kicking things in the high gear. And I don't know when that'll happen. I really don't. Rebellion was okay. It was an okay event. But maybe Slammiversary will be better. I don't know. We'll see. So, we kicked the show off with Nic Nemeth. Basically, he was upset that he couldn't get the job done. He didn't know if he needed to retrain or if he had the passion to continue on. So, then Matt Hardy came out to a decent reaction. And he was just saying that whenever Nick comes back or whatever, maybe it'll be him versus Matt Hardy. And that's all that happened. Moose came out. He berated the crowd along with the rest of the system. They called Matt Hardy the Las Vegas Raiders. They made fun of him and Nic Nemeth. So this pissed off Nic Nemeth because Eddie Edwards was talking shit to Nic Nemeth. And then Nic Nemeth challenged Eddie Edwards to a match. And this was in the main event. And I was just like, oh my God, no, this sucks. Fuck, this sucks. Moving on. So Santana Marella and Mustafa Ali, they were backstage. They launched the ballot box battle. So Santino praised Mustafa Ali for the creative idea, to which Ali responded with his goal to make the X Division great again. So Jason Hott, she interjected, can someone be the number one contender to their own championship? And Santino was like, no, absolutely not. And then Jordan Grace, she barges in. Okay, that's fine. So Jordan Grace, she spoke to Gia Miller about Rebellion and made it known. She has a match with Yumai Toshiyama. Yu Masha. And she's going to be facing her for the TNA Knockouts World Championship next week. That'll probably be the main event. Miya Uramashita. It's pretty good. She's okay. She's pretty good. So this leads us into our first match of the night, which is Mike Santana versus Myron Reed. A quick match. So Mike Santana, he wins via the discus clothesline for the 1, 2, 3. I think he calls that the border shot or something like that or whatever. Anyway, Steve Maclin came out. He stared down Santana. The Rascals acted like they were going to help out Steve Maclin, but they're like, nah, fuck you, Steve Maclin. We don't care about you. They dipped out. And Maclin just bounced out after that. So this is fine. I guess they're going to have a feud involving Mike Santana and Steve Maclin, which I'm fine with. I'm actually fine with it because it actually makes sense. Steve Maclin, just like Josh Alexander, those guys are gatekeepers. If you want a feud entering into TNA, and you're a heel, you're going to face Josh Alexander. The same goes if you're a babyface, you're going to face Steve Maclin. And I don't know why those guys are gatekeepers, but those are your two babyface and heel guys. Those are your babyface and heel gatekeepers, which is dumb to me, but I don't know. I really don't fucking know. Steve Maclin, he has now re-signed with TNA. That's fine. What does that mean? Nothing, really. He's just going to be in the same position that he was in. I doubt he'll be world champion again. I doubt it. He didn't even get a 2-month reign. He only got, I think it was like a 55-day reign. So he didn't even get a full 2 months as champion. So, I don't know, man. Maybe he's just re-signing for another year and then maybe he might go somewhere else. I don't know, man. But Maclin, he's just been spinning his wheels for the last year, basically. He's not done much of anything. He barely did anything in 2023. And it looks like that could be the same in 2024. So, I don't know. Not much has changed. Moving on. So, Step the Lander and Khan, they called out what happened at Rebellion, the Las Vegas screw job. And then both of them proceeded to challenge Jordan Grace and PCO to a mixed tag at Under Siege, which is going to be April the 3rd. That's fine. It actually, my bad, not April the 3rd, May the 3rd, my bad. May the 3rd. My bad, I apologize about that. May the 3rd. That's kind of early to have Under Siege. Under Siege is kind of early. I was thinking Under Siege was going to be maybe the 2nd week in May, maybe even the 3rd week in May. I don't know, but that's a little bit early. But it is what it is. But I think you have Backlash that weekend as well, too. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, it is what it is. So, I guess we get the WWE TNA partnership confirmed, eh? Nah, I doubt it. Just joking. Moving on. I wanted to burn my fucking television because why? Josh Alexander and Frankie Kazarian appeared. So, Josh basically stood in the ring. He declared his commitment to TNA, reflecting on his intense battle with Hammerstone at Rebellion. He was ready to reveal his strategy for reclaiming the TNA World Championship. He was interrupted by Frankie Kazarian. Kaz said that Josh Alexander should step aside and proclaiming himself the rightful contender for the TNA World Championship. So Josh Alexander suggested that they settle their dispute in the ring to determine the true number one contender. So Kaz at first was like, he's being nonchalant about it, and he refused the challenge. And then out of nowhere, a referee was like, nah, and then the match is going to happen. It's going to be you versus Josh Alexander right now. I'm just like, fuck this shit. Like, fuck it. Josh Alexander basically wins. Eric Young gets involved towards the end of the match. Who gives a fuck? Josh Alexander wins via the ankle lock. Again, I'm tired of this. I am so tired of this because I can't stand Josh Alexander. Why is he being pushed? Same thing with Frankie Kazarian. Why is he being pushed? Now, I have a feeling that Josh Alexander might be facing Moose probably at Slammiversary. We'll talk about it when we get to the main event as to why I say that. Moving on. So, Jake something and Santino, they were conversating when another bum, another loser, Clay Diener, he showed up. So Diener showed up. So I was pissed off about this too. He said, suddenly, Hammerstone, he barged in. So Jake something demanded respect. So then Alexander Hammerstone, he shoves Jake something. So in response to that, because things are about to go haywire, Santana was like, nah, I'm going to make a match between you two at Under Siege. So I'm fine with this. This is pretty good shit. This is a quick little feud, I guess, a quick little mini feud. This is good, I like this. I'm not going to hold you guys up. This is some good shit. I'm a fan of Hammerstone, and I'm a fan of Jake something. So this should be interesting. This should be turned into a feud and not just a one-and-done match. Hopefully, we can get that out of it. We need a feud. Because both guys need something to do. And if they just do a one-on-one, a quick one-on-one, and then a one-and-done type of match, where does that leave both guys going forward? I don't know. Moving on. So AJ Francis and Rich Swann, the what are their fucking names? First Class. They showed up with Bun B. Shout out to Bun B. Yes sir. So AJ Francis, Rich Swann, and Bun B, they discussed the First Class's actions at Rebellion with Gia, and then suddenly Joe Hendry appeared next to Gia. AJ Francis threatened him, and in response, Joe Hendry promised an apology during next week's episode of TNA. So he is going to be facing Rich Swann again, and that's how he's going to get his apology. Okay, that's fine. Again, it seems like Joe Hendry is not moving up the card. He's not. He's doing low mid-card stuff when Joe Hendry should be actually, I don't know, in the main title picture or even in the X Division title picture. Like, come on. Like, Joe Hendry's good. Like, Joe Hendry's actually over. He is over. He's over. Like, if he was in WWE, whether he was on the main roster or in NXT with his gimmick, with his character, he could get this over. Like, he's got a great gimmick. So, I don't know, man, but he's just spinning his wheels as well. Moving on. Ash by Elegance, she made her 5th match appearance. She defeated... No, my bad. She was defeated by Xia Brookside. She rolled her up via the roll-up, which is great. So this is cool. So I like this because Ash by Elegance suffered her first loss, and it's a good thing. So I guess they're going to continue the feud. I'm still thinking that probably going into Slammiversary, it's going to be Jordynne Grace versus Ash by Elegance because it makes the most sense. And it's cool that Ash by Elegance has some mini feuds while she, at the same time, is building up her credibility. So I do think that it'll be Jordynne Grace versus Ash by Elegance at Slammiversary. I think that could be a really good match and a really good story if done right. We'll just have to wait and see. Moving on. So, Santana Marella, he announced that Trey Miguel had won the Battle Box. The Battle Box battle. But the number of votes raised suspicions. Excuse me. The only other contender with a significant count was Ace Austin. So the two of them are going to face off next week, and the winner of that will face Mustafa Ali for a shot at the TNA X Division Championship at Under Siege. Okay, cool, that's fine. So Sami Callihan, he defeated the Good Hands in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Who gives a shit? Fuck this. Moving on. So Steve Maclin, he approached Frankie Kazarian with a proposition, but Frankie Kazarian remained weary due to their past. Despite their mutual distrust, they shared a common issue with common enemies. Okay, that's fine, I guess. And then the main event, Nic Nemeth versus Eddie Edwards. Ryan Nemeth was in attendance for this. Eddie Edwards wins because the system, they got involved and screwed over Nic Nemeth. So Eddie Edwards wins via the Boston Knee Party. Post-match, the system, they beat down Nic Nemeth. Moose got Nic Nemeth's neck into a chair, and then he pillmanized his neck with another steel chair, riding Nic Nemeth off of television. And Speedball Mountain, they came out to make the save, but it was a little bit too late. So this actually makes sense. I believe Nick was written off because he doesn't have a contract with TNA. I think he said in interviews that he doesn't really want to work a contract with anybody because he's been in lock and key in WWE for so long. He's been tied down to a contract for so long that he's like, nah, fuck it. So this actually does make sense. Now, could Nick return to TNA? He probably will. But I don't think TNA is going to give him the World Championship until they get a full-fledged commitment from Nic Nemeth. So that does make sense. So I don't know. But here's my theory. I think what they're going to end up doing is they're probably going to have Matt Hardy versus Moose at Under Siege. Moose is going to defeat Matt Hardy. Moose will probably go on and feud with Josh Alexander, probably at Slammiversary. And I think that's what's going to happen, because that actually does make the most sense. TNA's going to go with their tried and true, their little fake golden boy and Josh Alexander. For whatever reason, they're going to go along with him to face Moose. Moose will defeat Josh Alexander. And then maybe Nic Nemeth will return at Bound for Glory. But if he doesn't, I think what they'll do is they'll end up putting Jinder Mahal in that slot. I think Jinder Mahal will show up at Slammiversary, and they'll build Jinder Mahal to be the one to dethrone Moose at Bound for Glory. So I think Moose is probably going to remain champion from now until Bound for Glory. So we have another 6 months, 5.5 months until Moose's reign ends. So if Josh Alexander doesn't defeat him at Slammiversary, rest assured, Jinder Mahal will be the one to dethrone Moose at Bound for Glory. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring Jinder Mahal in at Bound for Glory, build him up for a good 2.5 months, and he'll be the one to dethrone Moose. So that's my prediction. I think Moose will be champion up until Bound for Glory. So that's just what's going to happen. But TNA was okay. It could have been better. It is what it is. Again, they're just spinning their wheels. They keep pushing the same talent over and over again. They haven't learned, and that's not good. That's really not good. And then they want to talk about doing live shows. It's like, you don't have the roster to do live shows. They probably couldn't even get 500 people out at a live show. They can get them out for pay-per-views and tapings, but they can't get them out for an actual live show. An actual live television show. Not pay-per-view, but television show. But it is what it is. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.